It's fucking background band of this like fucking dude fly fishing. Get the fuck out of here, Tucker. Bunch of horse shit. Eh, it is kind of funny. Not gonna lie. Mm, that's a machine. But fucking Ben Shapiro. He's a piece of shit, man. Really has turned into a scum. Oh no. Son. Ben is a piece of shit. It is fucking hilarious. What a joke. Check it down. Check it down. It's a destructive religion. He always does that, kind of trails off. Fuck Matt Walsh. He's a scumbag. Just by the fact that he still works for that fucking traitor. Oh, hmm. I have a pretty shitty stream here. That's how it should be. Hell yeah. There we go. Stream's better now. There we go. How could you, if you're an American, they should be appealing. Let's get down. Let's get down. See? Charles Lindbergh. What a bunch of bullshit. crazy if that is. I mean, it was kind of self-evident that that was the case. He was scratching it or chomping at the bit to get into that fight. Yeah, they really have. What the fuck? Yeah, fuck this. Whack. Super. God, Dave Bruce. Got it.
But I believe, at least in my lifetime, this is the first time a private individual would ever be condemned, whatever that even means. So we'll talk about the resolution, like I said, put forward by the Democrats, by Chuck Schumer, and I imagine if it came to the floor, wouldn't be controversial. I'm sure it would be unanimously adopted, which is kind of scary. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk tonight about a couple of other stories. If we have time, we'll get into Saudi Arabia. I know it's been a couple of days, and I've wanted to get into it, but we just haven't had a lot of time. The other thing I'd like to talk about tonight is bombshell story getting no media coverage at all. And you know I read the news every day. I read the Washington Post. I read the New York Times. I read Axios. I read everything. And this hardly got any coverage, and I would guess you probably have not heard of it. Most of the stories I cover on the show, they're front page stories. It's all over social media. It's all over the timeline. This is one that if you're not tapped in, if you're not doing the research, you might not have ever heard of it. And what's more, even if you did, you might not know the significance of it. And what I'm referring to is that this week, our United States ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee from Fox News, met with a convicted Israeli spy by the name of Jonathan Pollard. Now, for those that don't know a ton about the history of U.S.-Israel relations, because you're not an anti-Semite, because you're not obsessed with Israel, maybe that name means nothing to you. But if you are initiated, if you do know the score, you know that Jonathan Pollard is one of the most infamous and damaging traitors to the United States of America in history.
In the height of the Cold War,
He is the only spy who spied on behalf of a U.S. ally.
What the fuck?
That was sentenced to life in prison. That's how bad he was. He gave thousands, tens of thousands of documents while he worked for the U.S. government to Israeli intelligence. Documents which might imperil the lives of U.S. intelligence operatives. He was convicted decades ago, served decades in prison. He was pardoned by President Trump in his first term as a favor to Benjamin Netanyahu, where he was then sent home to Israel. He received a warm welcome there by Benjamin Netanyahu. I believe he was flown there on Sheldon Adelson's private jet, if I'm not mistaken. And when he arrived in Israel, he said that he was always loyal to Israel and the Jewish people over the United States, despite working for the U.S. government.
They gave
living
him
inside the United States
after
he was a dual loyalist.
He was imprisoned.
This has been a major source of friction between Israel and the United States, or was when Pollard was in prison. Now Mike Huckabee held a meeting with him, didn't disclose it to the CIA, might not have even disclosed it to the U.S. State Department. Nobody's really sure.
Scumbag Mike
who knew about it, when they knew about it, who approved of it. The White House says they were not aware of the meeting, allegedly was kept off the schedule so that nobody would be aware of it. But this just speaks to the wider problem that is happening inside this government in particular. The government in general, but this Trump government in particular. How many examples of this do you need to see before you get it and you realize we have a problem? I think about the Israeli government official who was caught in Nevada in a sting where they were trying to find child sexual predators. He was allowed to escape by a Trump-appointed prosecutor, by the Trump-appointed Department of Justice. Remember that only a few months ago? Now this. Mike Waltz was dismissed in the spring because they caught him communicating with the Israeli government using an encrypted messaging app created by Israel. They said he was working for Netanyahu to push us into a war with Iran. How much of it do you need to see? And by the way, does it make you an anti-Semite for noticing? Does it make you obsessed, crazy, hateful? Hey, Tucker, am I engaging in blood guilt? If I notice a pattern here, this is a real problem. So we'll talk about that too. Should be a pretty good show. Hopefully we get to everything tonight, as I do want to get into the story about the deal with Saudi Arabia. I guess it's really just more background stuff. So that'll be our lower priority for tonight. But before we get into it, I want to remind you to smash the follow button on Rumble, smash the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Get the merch at Fuentes.store. We have our hats for sale. Make sure you get them before Black Friday and Christmas. No promises on the fulfillment time. We're lagging a little bit just because we're selling too many of them. We did a pre-order and we had stock when we put them on sale. I think we had about 1,000 of them, but we're selling thousands of hats. So we're lagging behind a bit, but Fuentes.store, get the hats, get the t-shirt as well. We have the Wang Half t-shirt. Subscribe and become an America First Plus member at americafirst.plus. $15 a month, get access to the whole archive. $100 a month, you're in a group chat with me, hanging out. You can talk to me, tag me, whatever you want. I might not be super friendly, but I'm definitely in there, and I'm chopping it up with the niggas, with the homeboys. Also, we finally got the Rumble Super Chats figured out. Nice. So we have Super Chats now on Rumble. You can use it, and I will be reading them tonight because we finally integrated with the Rumble website, so I'll be able to see those. So if you send in a Super Chat on Rumble, I'll be reading that going forward. What else? I might be doing a show tomorrow. I might not. I definitely am not doing a show on Monday. So there's no show Monday. I might do a show tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. Just a heads up, just letting you know. I'll be a little busy bee over the weekend. The other thing, before we get into the news, I do just want to say this very, very quickly. And I do not want to spend too much time on it, but I did just want to react to this. I tweeted a couple of days ago about this video that I saw. It was an interview with Roseanne Barr. And the only reason I want to bring this up for your consideration, go and check it out on my Twitter if you didn't see it. If you're not following me already, make sure to follow me and check out this video. I think I tweeted it 2 or 3 days ago. It's an interview with Roseanne Barr and I think some other Jewish guy. And for those who don't know, Roseanne Barr is a Jewish comedian from the show Roseanne, which maybe you've heard of. They had a reboot some years ago for the younger generation. Anyway, very famous, very big on television, very pro-Trump, very conservative. You might remember she got canceled a few years ago, I think because she called one of Obama's attorney generals a monkey or something. Was it Loretta Lynch? Or it was one of the Obama officials who was black. Roseanne said she looked like a monkey and she got canceled. Anyway, you might know her from that. I saw this video of her. She's in an interview with some guy, and she's talking about Israel. And she said something really interesting. She said that if the United States stops supporting Israel, she says, America will fall, and America will get what it deserves. She said, and Israel will just move on to some other country like India or China. She said, America will fall.
I love how he emotes.
And I saw this video and I was truly shocked. Watch the way she says it. I might even pull it up and just play it, just so you could hear it. Because I was a little bit taken aback. I'll pull up and I'll play just the audio so you can hear it. You can hear it in her voice.
America's turning on it. I don't know that if America's turning on Israel, then America deserves what's going to happen to them for it.
It'll be worse for America than Israel.
It will, because Israel will just move on to India and other countries, and America will fall.
Not just that, the sleeper cells.
America will fall, and that's what they want. I mean, that is what they want, is that the constitutional...
You hear that? You hear that in her voice? You hear that in her voice, the way she says, America will fall.
Well,
listen
I
again.
don't know that if America's turning on Israel, then America deserves what's going to happen to them for it.
It'll be worse for America than Israel.
It will, because Israel will just move on to India and other countries, and America will fall.
Not just that, the sleeper cells.
America will fall, and
America will fall.
That's disgusting.
She says. The reason I play that clip and the reason I even bring it up, I try to show you things like this so you get a feel. Because I can give you the information like we did last night. We could talk about the World Jewish Congress. We could talk about the Tikva Fund. I could give you the information and the history, and that's out there. But I want to give you a sampling, a feel.
I'm trying to give us
for
a visceral,
the Jewish consciousness.
really drive it home.
And that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's really not.
Because, I mean, he's good at
There
that.
are Jewish people, and Jewish
good at
people have a
finding that
sense of
one detail
identity,
that
which is
really
different than
puts
the
it
sense
over
of
the-
identity that white
over the
people
cliff
have.
for you. You know, it's
They
that
think
one-
about things
that one
from a different
extenuating
perspective than we
circumstance
do,
that
like
really
anybody
sells
does.
you on what
Black
he's talking
people have a different perspective of America, for example, because they were brought here as slaves against their will, so they have a
Everyone
very
does.
particular view. And white people have a particular viewpoint. Muslims have a particular viewpoint. Maybe they got a chip on their shoulder because of Islamophobia after 9/11. Or maybe they hate the West because they think it's decadent or a crusader state. And I want to just show you that Jewish people have a different perspective also, completely different than Christians, than white people. They have a special affinity for Israel.
For some reason,
They
don't
have a
consider
chauvinism
themselves
about
white.
their own people. It's not
Yeah,
every
even
single
though
one, but it's a
they're
lot of them.
clearly
This is
European.
part of their culture.
Yes,
And it's
they are.
helpful to see that. And it's helpful especially to see how ugly it can get. The country, of course, no longer supports Israel. Israel has lost the unconditional support
they
of the
have.
American public.
Shit.
And they only have themselves to blame. It's because of their actions. Contrary to what the lunatic Zionists say, it's not because of the Muslim Brotherhood. It's not because of Qatar. It's not because of the Marxist Islamic left. It's because of them. It's because Americans got tired of seeing the brutality of Israel in Gaza. They got tired of the hypocrisy. They got tired of seeing the Israel first narcissism, smugness, arrogance, and hypocrisy also of people like Ben Shapiro. So left, right, and center, especially the young people, are just simply changing their minds. We're looking at what this is, and we don't like it. We're turning away from it. We no longer support it. And you hear somebody like Roseanne Barr, who is ostensibly a right-wing culture warrior,
Jesus
pro-Trump,
Christ, I can't
sort of
believe
a
she said that
fixture in the
shit.
MAGA scene. She's one of the few pro-Trump celebrities. And you might look at her and maybe you don't even know she's Jewish. You might look at her and consider her, because she was the star of a show about working class people, you might consider her maybe even to be relatable. You might think she's just some working class white person. Oh, she's Jewish? Oh, so what? I'm sure that's arbitrary. I'm sure it has no bearing on her identity or her politics. That's not true. And when you listen to these people, when they
that is going absolutely viral, that we didn't want to pass up a chance to make sure that you saw. It's from the Congress of the Jewish Federation of North America recently, and it's liberal Obama speechwriter Sarah Hurwitz
an Obama
talking about the twin problems that are, she believes, fueling anti-Semitism, and she believes it is social media that is showing people pictures of, quote, carnage in Gaza, and also a Holocaust education that has taught people that it is wrong when big, powerful forces are aggressive towards the weak. Just an incredible 2-minute clip that I think you're going to watch the entirety of, and then Emily and I will discuss for a moment. Go ahead and roll this.
I think that since October 7th, but really before then, there have been huge shifts in America on how people think about Jews and Israel. And I think that is especially true of young people. So we are now wrestling with a new, I think, generational divide here. And I think that's particularly true in that social media is now our source of media.
Shit.
And this, it used to be that the media you got in America was American media, and it was pretty mainstream.
It was manipulated
it
by
generally
us.
didn't
That's
express
what she
extreme
means.
anti-Israel views.
Fuck you.
You had to go to a pretty weird bookstore to find global media and fringe media. But today, we have social media, which is a global medium. Right? It is shaped, its algorithms are shaped by billions of people worldwide who don't really love Jews.
It's not shaped by
And so while in the
Jews.
1990s, a young person probably wasn't going to find Al Jazeera or someone like
it's
Nick
not
Fuentes.
shaped by us.
Today, those media outlets find them.
Bitch.
They find them on their phones. It's also this increasingly post-literate
With their
media,
little fucking
less and less
heads on.
text, more and more videos. So you have TikTok just smashing our young people's brains all day long with video of carnage in Gaza. And this is why so many of us can't have a sane conversation with younger Jews, because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this wall of carnage. So I want to give data and information and facts and arguments, and they are just seeing in their minds carnage, and I sound obscene. And, I think, unfortunately, the very smart, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education, in this new media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit.
She's like, we absolutely made a great bet with all the Holocaust propaganda, or all the Holocaust teaching. Like, this was like, they considered this beforehand? Like, a priori? Like, it changes things, this totally changes things. That this was just a ploy to give themselves legitimacy and social capital to do all the things they've been doing since World War II. I mean, it's so craven. It's so cynical. I mean, and you'd expect nothing less, I suppose.
Because, Holocaust education is absolutely essential. But I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
All right, so
No
Emily, where
shit.
do we even start with this argument?
She fucked up.
Like, my worldview is being rejected because people are seeing images of carnage,
People are seeing facts.
Yeah.
and because people have been
Said
taught
the quiet part
that
out loud, like Ben
it is
Shapiro
wrong
loves
when
to
a
say.
powerful force uses its power
Not good.
to annihilate a weaker people.
Yeah.
And you
A
can
So
people
hear-
that you
therefore,
have
it's not my worldview
captive.
that needs to
It's
change.
disgusting.
It isn't that we should end the carnage. We should end the Holocaust education,
Yeah.
and we should make sure that we can kill social media so people don't see the images. Like,
Yeah, we need
Yes,
to. We
that's
need
the
to
death rattle of the
silence it.
gatekeepers. I mean, this clip in a nutshell is the death rattle of the gatekeepers. She is truly upset
Yeah.
that people have access to information that previously she feels the gatekeepers were able to keep.
Because when she goes to propagandize these people, they won't listen to her. They're so their minds are so made up that there's no argument she can make to get past that. And she's lamenting that fact. Like, man, we're not going to get to genocide people like we were used to. We're not going to get to we're not going to get to do all the evil shit we've been doing for almost the whole last century. Like, wow. Wow. That's all you can say.
Which is also somewhat wrong. Her idea that you used to have to go to a weird bookstore to get your hands on anti-Israel information.
No, any bookstore had that.
You can go ahead, walk into Barnes and Noble and pick up your Chomsky. It's
Yeah.
fine. But also, what she's really lamenting is the lack of control that the gatekeepers used to have to push people out, and it's convenient for her to just chalk that up to Fuentes or left-wing critics of Israel.
Not
but
that what
it's
they're doing is
obviously
fucking
going
despicable.
well beyond fringe figures, and it's not fringe, and it shouldn't be considered fringe to oppose what just happened in Gaza over the last couple of years. But she wants
fucking turned it
to
into a
actually
moonscape.
relegate those views to the fringes
disgusting.
and say, well, this is just craziness. But now it's mainstream because the crazies are mainstream, as opposed to now it's mainstream because people had access to
access
different
to-
information
yeah.
that you previously
Not
were able to
propaganda.
gatekeep.
Yeah. The
Darn
only
it, darn
line
it.
of hers that made any
got to
sense to
get
me
to
was
hold-
when
we
she
gotta
said,
get a
"I
hold of
sound
TikTok."
obscene." And to me,
Damn.
she does
It's a
sound,
wild line.
she does sound obscene. And what I don't understand is how she can't see it.
Yeah. How
I
can she
don't
not see
understand
it?
this complaint
you
about
say
social
that?
media. You know, after October 7th and every day up until the ceasefire. Now there are a handful of,
Pretty sure this
fewer
war's
than
over
10
for them.
usually Palestinians being killed every day by Israel.
They're killing them crazy.
You had about an average of 100 Palestinians killed every single day after October 7th for two
They've
two
just
plus
been
years.
systematically butchering.
And
these people.
80+%, 90+%, we're going by Israeli data here that gets leaked out, civilians. They have smartphones in Gaza. They're able to share footage every day
Yeah, sorry,
of
Netanyahu. You
the
can't
many
just lock
dozens,
them
the
up.
scores of people, up to 100 or more, every day being killed in Gaza. How is that social media's fault?
Right.
Like, what is social media? What is TikTok or Instagram? I know what they want them to do.
She
Which is just
mentioned
not
skinny Palestinians as though that's some type of aberration, right? That there was people seeing skinny Palestinians was misleading because it makes you think
Right.
Palestinians are starving.
Another
That
woman
seems to
was
be her
talking. and
Right.
saying,
So
"Yes,
Israel
I-
wants to cut off food from getting
I
in.
uncovered 12 of the 12 kids they were saying
Everybody loses
are
weight
being
in
starved
Gaza.
had
That gets
pre-existing conditions.
the images of that are shared with the world.
Yeah, the ones that have
it's so hard for me to get my mind to a place where you don't say, okay, so we should actually let
conditions
food in
previously
so people aren't
are
starving.
going to die first.
We should stop killing civilians
Mic monitor.
so that we stop
It's hard to
seeing
talk when
images
you're
of civilians being killed.
Right. Right.
Instead, we need to buy TikTok.
Yes.
right.
Like, we need to shut down the ability
murder
of people
doesn't
to
need to
share these
stop.
images.
We've gotta
and then,
get a
but then
hold
the
on
second
this.
minute of it is the
fucking
most
foul.
mind-bending,
That's foul.
where she says it was smart of us to link anti-Semitism and Holocaust to education.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man.
We talked about the Nazis and what they did, and everybody understood that was bad. But now we need to dial that
They
back
hung that on us
because
damn
we
it.
look like the Nazis.
All the Nazis were killed, so it's like, damn, there's no population that we can that we can leverage this historical event and fuck. I know. Convince the stupid Americans. We'll convince them. You know, there's some Germans there. And they just straight up talked us into believing that somehow we had some sin to atone for. Like, and the way these Israel propagandists like Josh Hammer and Ben Shapiro, Europeans have anti-Semitism in their DNA. What? Dude, the Holocaust happened after America separated from Europe. Like, you don't have anything to do with that shit. You know, the Jews in Europe have more to do with it than we do, than America did. You know, like, they were rubbing elbows with Nazis, and we weren't. And somehow we get taught, I mean, and they have the gall, the balls to get upset that, you know, we're starting to see ourselves as, or starting to identify with each other and with our group, our demographic. You know, why are they doing this? Why are they doing? Because you're beating us to death with it. We have no choice.
Yeah.
That thinking, to me, is just, it's incomprehensible. I can't get there. Rather than her saying, we're starting to look like the Nazis in the framework that we have set up with this education. So let's stop doing that.
Yeah.
Let's not bomb these apartment buildings.
We're
Let's
looking
not
like
bomb
the
a
Nazis
tent city.
at
Like let's not displace 2 million people and then bomb them in their tents. Let's not do that, because even if you don't care about the people themselves, it looks really bad.
You're being way too logical. Way too logical.
So you're going to dial back, and okay, you can dial back Holocaust education all you want. People as human beings understand that if a big, powerful force is bombing unarmed people in their tents, that is wrong.
Yeah.
You don't actually need education to understand that. You understand that as a human. In fact, almost all animals understand that. Not just humans. In the animal
we're not
kingdom,
killing people. Why are you listening
when
to them?
animals
Why are
like
you
give
looking
themselves
at their
up,
pictures?
oftentimes that
We told you we're
that
not
animal
doing
instinct
that.
to devour them evaporates. Like when two dogs are fighting, if a dog gives up and exposes its belly and its neck, the other dog will back off. Those dogs did not need education to get there. It's not just a human impulse. It's across the animal kingdom for the most part. And so you can go ahead and root out Holocaust education all you want. People are still going to understand that if unarmed, innocent civilians are being bombed in tents, that's wrong, and the people doing the bombing are wrong and should be prosecuted and jailed. Everyone's going to understand that.
Some background on Sarah Hurwitz. She is a very sort of mainstream Democratic establishment figure. She was appointed by Barack Obama to the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Council right before the end of his second term, right before Donald Trump took office. She was a speechwriter for Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, General Wesley Clark, John Kerry, goes back to the early aughts, but has done the tour of kind of normie, centrist Democrats over the last couple of decades. So
yeah, totally. Like, I feel like I know her a little bit. Like, she would be in my circles, like, and I'm sure, like, outside of this is like a lovely person.
No,
it's a wild
but it's
thing
like,
to say.
that's not lovely. That's not lovely person
What
speech. That's
what has
fucking
broken
propagandized filth
in your
that's
brain
somebody who can
to get to a place
evil,
where you think the problem
true evil,
is not what's happening,
like butchering,
or that it's okay to
thousands
say
of
that
people.
aloud. I mean, to say it aloud, like
and,
you have the moral authority.
And as she was saying, it felt like a thought out, it felt like a structured comment, not like an offhanded remark that you make on a panel.
She felt smart and righteous for saying.
Yes, I think she had developed these
like
thoughts,
that was some sort of a
planned them out, and she's like, this is what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
And this is a useful thing to contribute.
Well, just as a reminder, like
exactly
increasingly the way elites are going to talk about people who disagree with them are as people with alternative facts who occupy different narrative silos, and it's going to be very patronizing. Like, it's not your fault, you're just getting bad information, you can't be expected to know the truth when TikTok leads you in this direction, or when social media is pushing you this way or that way, because we have no control. And so that's increasingly going to be the way that they treat just you and me, normal people who have different opinions than them, and viewers, listeners who have different opinions from them. Is you just occupy a different narrative silo, and you can't be expected to know the truth like I know. I mean, I have been a speechwriter, my goodness, for 2 decades. Like, I know what's actually going on here, but you, the poor average American who is being confronted with crazy YouTubers, we just need to fix the system of information delivery.
We've got to get that filter on.
Maybe that'll work. I would suggest
see all those hurty pictures.
Stop the killing. Stop the starvation.
One way to do it.
Yeah. So nobody cares what I think, though.
Well, some people do.
No, I don't think Sarah does.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show. Help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.
The Attorney General has systematically weaponized our nation's leading law enforcement agency to protect President Trump and his allies and attack his opponents and, sadly, the American people. In 8 short months, you have fundamentally transformed the Justice Department and left an enormous stain in American history. It will take decades to recover.
What do you care? You'll be dead, old man.
As to ending the weaponization of justice, we learned that former FBI secretly investigated you and your colleagues. Why? They wanted to take President Trump off the playing field. They were playing politics with law enforcement powers and will go down as a historic betrayal of public trust. This is the kind of conduct that shatters the American people's faith in our law enforcement system. We will work to earn that back every single day. We are returning to our core mission of fighting real crime. While there is more work to do, I believe in 8 short months, we have made tremendous progress towards those ends. You voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Let me ask you something else. There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe, I could be wrong, correct me, Reid Hoffman, who was with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions.
Way to deflect. It's like, how dare you? Multiple occasions. I actually thought this was kind of fun.
It's so easy to say, well, left wing's the problem, the right wing's the problem. Right. But if you actually look at the two of them, the tropes are kind of the same.
Right.
The right is saying that Jews are doing a white genocide, and the left is saying they're doing a genocide in Gaza. It's like the same. It's like very similar tropes.
It's funny how their language is. Oh,
well, that was Sarah
tropes.
Hurwitz, a
You
former
mean the
speechwriter
truth,
for
bitch?
President Obama,
mean the
back
truth?
at it again with
Is that what
another
you're talking
banger.
about?
But before we get into this story, earlier this week, Anna reported on Hurwitz's her recent comments regarding American perceptions and understandings of what anti-Semitism actually is and what genocide actually is. So I just want to play that clip, the original clip, for the audience to catch them up in case anyone missed Anna's reporting. So let's watch.
I think, unfortunately, the very smart, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education, in this new media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit. Because, Holocaust education is absolutely essential, but I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, oh, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, oh, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
All right, Cenk. Well, Hurwitz went on a podcast about a month ago, and that podcast has now resurfaced in light of her more recent remarks, the ones that we just watched. But first, let's get your 2 cents on the clip that we just saw.
Yeah, I appreciate the confession. Her description was actually excellent. That is what's happening, and that is true. Yeah, a Holocaust or a genocide is when a really powerful force like Nazi Germany, or in this case Israel, takes on people who have no power at all, which in the case of Nazi Germany was Jews, Poles, Roma, LGBTQ folks.
I've been getting a kick out of Cenk lately, not gonna lie. She is. Oh, come on, dude. Get the fuck out of here. They're all attacks. Mm-hmm. Insane. Fuck yeah. I second that motion. Take your bitch ass to your fucking desert, bitch. It's crazy. disgusting. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Fucking crazy. Where did it go? It never went anywhere. Huh. Incredible. She's stupid. If you think there are sides here, mm-hmm. She's an idiot. Can't trust the Jews to call it out anymore. Downright butchers. Mm-hmm. Hmm. What about Americans? Shouldn't they get one? She is a bad person, though. The worst kind. One that doesn't even fucking know it. Doing evil shit. She's fucking evil. It's a fucking ruse. It's obvious. All of it. I love how he just goes bonkers. Yeah, right? I mean, they think that about everybody but Jews. They're just, they're just Americans. They're just white people. They're just this. They're just that. I mean, they're like the ultimate racists. They take cultural pride to a whole nother level. Trump, 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 Trump. She's not a bigot. She's fucking evil. He's upset that they're smearing Jews. He just goes apoplectic. Yeah. She's a pretty despicable person. I mean, I don't see how you could see that any other way. I mean, how glib she's discussing the murder of thousands of people. Fuck. But they don't plan on, or people may have a leftover love for their country of origin, a residual feeling for it. But it's almost the reverse with these Zionists. They don't see it as Israel as the country they just came from. It's the country they intend on ending up in, that they intend on landing in. So it's not the same thing at all, really. Yeah. Tropes. Trope, 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 trope. Uh-huh. Look at. She's quite despicable. It's weird. He wears the same fucking outfit every day, man. Fat boy Chink. Piggly Wiggly. It's funny, I actually agree with the Young Turks on Israel. Everybody sees it. It's disgusting. Of course. Oh wow, South Park's doing Netanyahu now. Gee. Son of a bitch. What the fuck? Huh. Gleeful. Sour grapes. Fucking pieces of shit. We still got your money. They just keep showing how nakedly against us they are. Every day it's a little bit more, a little bit more. They're not allies. They really are not. Fucking fifth column. In America and Christian Judeo-Christian bullshit. Right? Blah blah blah. What a joke, man. It's a lousy joke. Unfunny joke. fucking disgusting. Loading. Legit. America will fall. Jewish witch. She's a Jewess. Doing the happy merchant. Good, good. When they had nowhere else to go. Yeah. And it's not enough. Seriously. Man, what a mistake it was to let them in. They used our own institutions against us. They totally leveraged them against us. It's disgusting. America should fall. We've never committed a fucking genocide. I mean, even Vietnam, they were another army. Don't you understand? Mm-hmm. Hmm. And what's fucked up is Jewish people, it bothers them when Muslims immigrate here. It is. Disgusting woman. And she's just annoying and obnoxious. We'll just find some other. Yeah, what other country is gonna fucking let you vampire them to death? Stupid fucking obnoxious bitch. Seriously though, who do they think they are? Oh yeah. Let them loose. Fuck them. Yeah. Talking a bit too much shit. Yeah. Piss off. Fuck. Seriously, though. Good point. Well put. And that they have a fucking lifeboat they can just hop into if something happens. Right or wrong. The hell is wrong with them? Listen to Nick. You need to have a problem with it. That's true. I hope your house burns down. Yeah, you'd be like, get the fuck out. Yeah. Fucking A. I hope. Come on now. Let's say that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Get the fuck out. Go fuck yourself. Shit. I'm gonna go ahead and cash out for a little while. I'll probably be back on later on this afternoon. I appreciate y'all coming through and chilling.